I got you something.
Whoa.
This is not an ad deal. This is just because I like this company. So there's like this snag.
Oh my God, this is beautiful, Natalie. Everyone, do you see it? It says Illyrian on it. And it's like, I've got wings now. Thank you. If it wasn't so hot in here, I'd put it on right now.
No, don't cover your beautiful breasts.
I can't cover my breasts, or else what are we doing here?
I don't know.
For those of you that can't see, yes, I'm not horny for myself again in this red wig. I can't let it go.
It's a good wig.
Thank you.
Yeah, this company's called Snag, and I really like them. They have
like the tights.
Yeah,
yeah. They make Illyrian stuff.
Yeah, they have an ACOTAR line.
All right, this isn't an ad deal,
no,
but
it's not.
But also Snag though. But Snag, straight up.
Hit us up.
Hit us up. You want? I wear all your tights. Come on.
Also, they make clothes that are great. They all have pockets. The skirts all have pockets. But some of it's not available in the U.S. because it's a UK company.
Oh my God, I'm gonna put Jeff's like beard balm on it so it smells like him, and then I'm gonna sleep with it, and I'll be like, he's the Illyrian. Is that sad?
God.
Is that pathetic? Are you allowed to do that with your husband?
What, to pretend that he's an Illyrian?
Well, that, and also like take like their scent and put it all over something, because I feel like that's also something I should have stopped when I was like watching Clarissa Explains It All. You know, like if there's a and like a dude comes up through your window.
Are you bringing up Sam right now?
Yeah, I'm bringing up Sam right now. I was so into
cut.
Sam. I so wanted a boy to come in through my window.
They never made the kiss though, did they?
No, I don't think that. As far as I remember, and if I did, I blocked it out. Because I want to be kissing Sam. Yeah. But I feel
Jackie wants to kiss Sam, not Clarissa.
I just feel like that would be that's like around the time that you're like smelling like somebody like leaves a shirt somewhere and then you smell it all the time because it smells
nice
like
to do
them.
it for your husband.
All right, great. Well, we'll see how Jeff feels about it.
Natalie approved. I don't care what Jeff thinks.
Hell yeah. Thank you so much. I can't believe they have an ACOTAR line.
Yeah, they do. It's really cute. I got myself one too.
Oh my God, are we gonna be matchy match?
Mine is a Feyre, the Feyre back tattoo.
Whoa,
Yeah.
Hell yeah.
Yeah.
On a hoodie. On a hoodie. That's awesome.
Yeah.
Wow.
Yeah, it is.
Well, now I'm all horned up.
Good.
Horned up for
See,
myself,
that's how we
horned
get
up for
back
my partner.
into it.
Yes.
Back into it. And that, speaking of horny, I've been getting a lot of messages about how upset you are hearing Danny Tamborelli read erotica. And I'm just here to say, good.
Yeah, man.
That's what I wanted.
Speaking. I bet he knows Sam.
Oh, I'm sure he does.
Oh my God, he probably
he
can
could
get us in
probably hook you up
contact
with Sam. Yeah, why have you never asked him before?
I don't know.
I guess
Maybe it's
'cause
because
you're
I'm married.
Maybe you could get Jeff to come in through the window.
Yeah, I think that's something that could probably happen. I don't know if he'd like it.
No, he definitely wouldn't like
Especially
it.
because our bedroom is up 2 stories.
Does he love you or does he not love you?
That's the question I'm going to ask, as he's terrified going up a ladder trying to get up into the window.
You can pop that sound on your phone when he does come
But what if I just make it with my mouth over and over again until he's just like, okay, I get it. He's just so angry by the time he gets in through the window. Well, between that and Scream, we were really set up for the fact that boys were going to be coming in through the window of our bedrooms. And it never happened for me. Did it happen for you?
No. I didn't have boyfriends when I was a teenager.
Yeah, but maybe it was just like a boyfriend who like you loved, and then he just like, his name was Sam and he showed up.
Yeah, no, that was
didn't
all
happen
propaganda lies.
Lies. These are the lies we're fed by the government. That's the lies I'm upset with.
Yeah.
Not all the other ones.
Clarissa Darling was a psyop. So
Man,
but
it must be
but I
rough
have
to have
say-
the last name of Darling, though. Just throwing that out there.
I mean, I don't think they really did. It was fake.
Oh, yeah. Oh. Sorry. I'm on one today. I just had my first sip of coffee.
Yeah, it's gonna get even more intense.
Yeah, it's gonna get tropical.
But I was gonna say also, if those of you who are upset, we asked Mike to also do it, and he said absolutely not.
He wouldn't read smut.
No, and I love him for that. We love Mike, but understandably, he didn't want to do erotica readings with Danny. So
Come on,
you
Pete
could have
and
had
Pete.
both Pete's doing it, and you only got the one, so you can't get that upset about it. So Oh,
Danny
also go check out the
Read
Adventures
Erotica.
of Danny and Mike on the LPN network
Yes.
if you want to listen to them talk about if you're a 90s baby. So fun news, everybody. Also,
Oh my
big
God.
fun
Oh
announcement.
my God.
7 minutes in.
Oh my God. When we haven't started the real episode yet.
So we have now partnered up with Un Jour d'Amour events, and
Wow, hey there, French.
Un Jour d'Amour.
Yes.
We are going to be on a panel for the Valaris Starfar Bar.
It's so difficult to say. Every time I say it, I say Starfar. Every single time. Starfall. The Starfall Ball.
We are, and we can talk better than this in the panel, probably, I hope. We're going to be there for the Valaris Starfar. Holy shit!
It's
Holy
difficult.
shit.
Because I've been screaming about this towards anyone that will listen, every time I say Starfar.
Valaris Starfall Ball. Valaris Starfall Ball. Actually, that's a great warm-up.
Valaris Starfall Ball.
Valaris Starfall Ball.
There you
Valaris
go.
Starfall Ball. We will be there. We're going to be there.
That's where we're going to be.
May 2024. It's already sold out, but if you have tickets, we're going to be there and we're doing a panel. And so this woman is awesome. She's also putting on a bunch of future ACOTAR fantasy themed events in the coming months with ticket sales are going to be starting soon. So her name's Leslie. She's a total badass. And
Dude,
please,
she's amazing. And she's making these, our fantasies are coming to life. She's doing it. And she's one of us, guys.
she's, she does. She also dresses in the costumes. It's great. And go follow her TikTok and Insta for updates. And if you are one of the lucky ones who nabbed a Starfall Ball ticket, we will see you next May.
Oh my God. But again, that's Un Jour d'Amour, UNJOURDAMOUR events. You can follow them on Instagram. Not because just as someone that doesn't know anything about French, there's no way if you said Un Jour d'Amour that I would have any idea of how to spell
That's
it.
a quest to figure it out.
Figure it out. Use our French. That's how I French kiss. How do you think I got a husband?
How do you think you got Jeff?
He was
like,
purr for me. I go,
He says, and he goes, purr for you?
constantly. he doesn't.
I don't want to know anything about
doesn't
this,
say
but this
that.
is unfortunately, I've asked for this, so you do have to tell me about all of your private.
You are welcome.
Yeah.
I'll get dirtier. You want me to get there?
Yeah, sure.
Like Degrassi? It goes there.
Whatever it takes, I know I'm going to make it through.
I know I'ma make it through. Oh, yes, I am.
Okay. We
If I
gotta go
flew. You can't just drop in singing Degrassi at me and have me not finish it.
Be the best. Best I can be. All right, we're 10 minutes in. And we got us a Tamlin.
Ew! Oh my God, sorry, real fast sidebar. I saw this TikTok of this girl who was on a horrendous date with a dude, and he's like, I want to date a woman who reads, but I don't want to marry a woman who reads because I feel like that'll just get boring. But a woman who reads that you date, then it keeps it fun. And she's like, you know what you should put in your Tinder profile? I'm just a Tamlin looking for his fae, and he apparently did, which is, I think, a great deep cut for us.
That is wonderful. And also, what a dumbass thing to say.
What a dumb thing to say.
You know what I hear when I hear that is I'm super boring and I don't know how to engage in actual conversation, and so I'm scared to marry somebody who can have a full conversation.
Have a conversation and always have new fun things to talk about. Oh, I'm sorry. Does that bore you, you Boro Snoro?
Yeah, you're a Boro Snoro, you idiot. Now you're going to get somebody who likes Tamlin. So, good luck.
Well, I liked Tamlin at a time.
Well, yeah, I guess if they've only read the first book.
Yeah.
Then oh God, what if they get married and then they read the other books?
And then they find out. We have to save this person.
All right. We gotta go.
All right.
We're back in the Dawn Court. And we have Tamlin. He has shown up tardy, of course.
For the party.
So he's popped into this room and no one is happy about it. Of course, the Night Court's not, but every High Lord in their entourage also snaps their shields up. Feyre sees the version of him that is able to rip apart his enemies and knows how deep his temper runs. So she sees that Tamlin walk into the room that she doesn't like very much. And I don't personally like a quick temper either.
No,
I tell ya.
no,
Really
no,
can't.
no.
My dad, like my whole dad's side runs hot, so I try not to do it, but I got a little bit of that in me.
You got some fire in you?
I try not to ever do that.
I'm usually scared of her, I've got to say.
Yeah. I do. Yep. That's how I got you to do the show.
She strong-armed me, and I went, okay.
Just threats.
Uncle. But you're my sister-in-law, but uncle.
Oh.
Why do we say uncle?
I don't know. It's probably something gross.
Yeah, probably.
I'm going to guess. So here Tamlin is grinning like a haunted skeleton at Faison. But Faison attempts to step in and offer Tamlin a chair. Maybe throw some, normalizing on the situation.
It's like he's being a nice host.
Yeah. He's kind of the neutral guy. Others try to speak with him, Baron commenting that he thought his allegiance was elsewhere, but Tamlin's frozen on the couple of the year. And then he sees the wedding ring.
Uh-oh.
And then he sees the new forearm tattoo.
Uh-oh.
That big-ass crown she's wearing.
Uh-oh. She's not like the other Fae.
Or even the other ladies.
No. She's a high lady, damn it.
He said she couldn't be one,
Yeah, you remember that? Remember when you said that, Tamlin?
He's not loving his view. I would say that. The chair is brought forward to welcome Tamlin into the circle, and while he does sit, he's still staring at Feyre with disdain.
Get over it, okay? You lost her.
He's not over it.
No,
I don't think he's going to be for a while.
No, he's not.
She thinks that not even Amaranthus stared at her with such hatred. He says, "It would seem congratulations are in order." And then it gets dirty.
Oh my God, he's such a bastard.
Rhys tries to prevent the meeting from going forward, saying that he's not interested in making plans in front of the enemy. He, of course, is saying that in his arrogant lord's voice. Helion thinks that's hilarious. "No,"
Tamlin said with equal unease.
"You're just in the business of fucking them."
Whoa.
As though, kind of just throwing some shade. And it gets really kind of gross after this, too. The room's tense, but Rhys won't let himself be ruffled visibly. Tamlin's claws, however, are beginning to show. Tamlin begins to accuse Rhys of stealing his bride in the dead of night.
I said quietly,
"The sun was shining when I left you." Which is a bit of a double entendre.
Yeah,
It was literally daylight, but it was also, in her mind, a blessing from above, and that is quite Shakespearean of her. Before this can escalate, Callias asks him why he's chosen to appear.
Because we don't like him. He's working for the other side, so why even show up, Tamlin?
Yeah. Tamlin says in a clipped tone that he didn't really side with Hybern, that he feigned it to save the woman he loved, despite the fact that there was no evidence that she desired to be saved.
And also, here's the thing. This would be so romantic and so beautiful if he didn't have the anger and these feelings of ownership. Like if someone went to the ends of the earth to get me back and it was my love story.
Right.
Because also, this is where it really goes to show that Tamlin doesn't realize that she doesn't love him. He's dumb. He's not a bright person. And I think that in his brain, he really did think that he was saving her from him.
But don't you
don't
think there was also an ounce of
she's mine
realization that she really didn't? Don't you think there's one little back of his corner being like, I don't think she actually likes me? Do you think?
I don't know. It really depends on how much, think about it. If you're a high lord, why would you even think that she wouldn't want you? You saved her from being a human, from the human life that she led. You saved her from everything. So I feel like part of me, I'm sure it's in there somewhere. For sure.
Yeah.
And, I think that it's also, his property thing.
Yeah.
But I also do wonder if he just doesn't fucking get it.
You don't get it, man. Or I guess male.
Yeah, male.
Yeah, no. I I'm with you on that.
I'm all over the place with Tamlin though, so that's why like I only bring these. I sprinkle these things in because again, how he acts and how he treats her is not okay, and it is abuse. But like at the end of the day, I do feel like not only does he need a therapist,
right?
He needs to talk this out. That maybe if he talked to anybody about it, maybe he would have gotten some perspective.
And isn't that a lesson for so many of us?
Let's think about that. Let's think about therapy. I haven't been in therapy for most of my adult life.
And look at your fucking thriving.
Look at my hair.
Look at her hair. Yeah, so I agree. And also, but she does a good job with kind of taking him back and forth. He still can do like a save the cat thing. He hasn't like completely... He's not villainized himself to the point of, like the King of Highburn or something like that. And so
she's just so good at it. She's so good at like not making him like, yes, he is bad. And yes, how he acts is bad. But also everything is gray. Life is gray. It's not black and white.
But not 50 Shades of Grey, because that's
yuck.
Yuck.
A bad representation of any kind of kink. Just saying.
I've never actually seen it. I just assumed I wouldn't like it.
You wouldn't?
Yeah, just like The Idol. Oh no!
We brought back the Idol!
So he then blames Rizan and his crew for manipulating her instead of taking maybe any accountability again about why she would want to leave. Again, without any evidence, and more infantilizing a very powerful Fae woman.
Yes.
And then she says, "You don't get to rewrite the narrative."
I breathed.
You don't get to spin this to your advantage.
Tamlin only angled his head at Rhys.
When you fuck her, have you ever noticed that little noise she makes right before she climaxes? And this got to me, man.
Oh, this is...
It's so awful. Such a disgusting thing to say in front of like a room of professional people or like people like where she is supposed to be held in any level of respect. It's like saying that in the office, It's just like, ugh. I hate it. The fucking triggered me.
Yes, man.
For better or worse, this gets to me more than the exploding room thing.
Yeah.
It really does.
Yeah, just saying this. Well, because it's something that's very vulnerable that you share with another human being. And for them to share that, like, in your most vulnerable moments, to share any kind of, like, we talk a lot of horny talk on here, but, like, I would never get into any specifics about anything.
Yeah, that, and also, for sure. And also just the objectifying her in front of, trying to, like, degrade her in front of people.
And almost succeeding because like he does it and he can't take it back.
Yep.
They can't unhear it.
Yeah, it's been done. And it's a violation. So gross. I hate it. Rhys hesitates knowing that his rage fits won't win Feyre over, which is why she went to Rhys. Then Az speaks up instead. Be careful how you speak to my high lady.
I think like up until this point in the books, like I was like, Azriel, I bet is like, I didn't like thirst for him until now.
I feel like we're going to get a lot thirstier for him in Elaine's book.
Meow. Meow. Sorry, I felt like a little donkey. Meow. Meow.
Don't make eye contact with me while you do that.
You don't like my donkey sounds?
I don't really. I don't care for them. But this is the moment when Tamlin learns of her title, because she wasn't addressed as High Lady in front of him yet. And then he continues to degrade her, accusing her of being an opportunist, that she's obviously only clout chasing, essentially. No matter that her alternative of being beneath him was supposed to fulfill her with no questions. Rhys still holds back, but Tamlin's not finished yet. He then proceeds to turn to the other High Lords and begins to fill their minds with doubt about the Night Court. How can you trust them when she came in and destroyed my court?
Hello, how can we trust you when you literally were like, yeah, I know I said that I was siding with Highburn, but like, I'm not. And then you come in and you act like a bastard, and then on top of it, you're going to try and turn everybody against the Night Court?
Damn,
Sorry.
Tam. Damn, Tam. So yeah, he's just like filling their head with poison. She smiled sweetly and dismantled it from the ground up. How can you ever trust her? Not taking any of his own accountability for anything that happened, of course. He tells the others that it's obvious that this is a ploy for them to become High Lord and Lady of Prythian. He asks them how they can trust him after he sided, quote, 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 with Amarantha for all those years, after what they did under the mountain. And it's just like, you didn't do anything, Tamlin.
Yeah, you just you stood there and you watched. Ugh. You didn't even try to save her.
Mm-mm. He references the group of Winter Court children who were killed, which is such a low blow. It's Vivian who speaks first, stating that they came here to decide that for themselves. Because Vivian, of course, had to deal with this horrible thing happening in the Winter Court whenever Amarantha was having her reign. Rhys looks at them all and tells them that he had nothing to do with it. Callias points out that he stood there next to her while the orders were given, and even though Rhys points out that he tried to stop it, it is a bad look for him in that moment because Tamlin's really pushed him to a corner, regardless of the fact that he really had no choice. Feyre recalls hearing that news all the way back when she was first at the Spring Court.
Rhys's mouth tightened.
Hang on, I had to burp. There is not one day that passes when I don't remember it.
He said to Callias, to Vivian, to their companions.
Not one day. And it really wasn't his fault. And it's notable that the person who first spoke up, Vivian, technically also didn't prevent it from happening under her watch. So Feyre turns to her mate and tells him she believes that he tried to stop it in his limited power.
Well, yeah, because he had limited power because of what Amarantha was doing to all of them.
Yeah, and she knows him and knows that he would never have just like lightly taken.
As a bunch of kids, we can make more of them.
Yeah.
When we know it's actually kind of difficult to make more of them.
Yeah, in the Fey world. So, to Baron's delight, he gets to chime in with the recollection that she gave Claire Better's name to Rizan in order to save herself.
Well, she didn't know what was going to happen to her.
She didn't know. They didn't know. But it is a good way to put distrust into the room.
Yes.
She, of course, didn't understand what would happen, and Rhys didn't believe it to be a real girl's name, but they did, in a way, help orchestrate it. So they don't have a lot to say on the matter. But
Shades of Grey.
Oh, my God, Shades of Grey.
Shades of Grey.
Like Amryn.
Yes.
But Rhys goes on, telling Callias that after they had rebelled against Amarantha, she had wanted Callias himself dead. Rhys tells him that he convinced her not to. That once his spies had been killed, he thought she was done, and then later found out that she had sent Damati out to torture the children before they died.
Ugh.
And he thinks that Amarantha did it to sow distrust between Callias and Rizan.
Which did a great job.
Worked to keep the courts from banding against her. This is like a Housewives situation where you're just like threading different like layers of deceit between each other.
Yeah, just like earlier when I said don't be tardy for the party, like the song Don't Be Tardy for the Party.
Just like that. You're right.
Which is a Real Housewives song.
We did that intentionally and brought it back.
Yeah, I brought it back. Thank you, Natalie.
Yeah. Yep.
Thank you for always listening to me, for all of the things I say. And remember, money can't buy you class. Elegance is earned. That's the other Real Housewives song.
That's a real one?
Yeah.
Elegance is earned.
Money can't buy you class. Elegance is learned. And it's all auto-tuned.
Earned or learned?
Earned.
Elegance is learned.
I guess it's learned.
I don't know.
Well, you've earned it. You know what? Have elegance for you. Spank, 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 spank. I spank it upon you.
Elegance.
Yeah.
I don't know how to be more.
Now we know how to hold wine glasses. That's not true. I still don't know where you're supposed to hold it.
I know where and I don't do it because I'm a rebel. And
Oh my God.
Yeah.
I didn't know that about you.
Yeah.
Where do you hold? You hold it just at the tips of the top. So you
Yeah.
go,
I balance it on my hand.
It's very difficult for
try to
Natalie to drink
splash it
wine.
in. Yeah.
Every wait staff hates her
Yeah.
because she's breaking all these glasses.
Yeah.
But you know what? Rebellion is worth it.
It's worth it to ruin a server's day.
No, it's not.
It's not. It's not. Don't ever do that. Rhys tells them that he tried to get into the soldiers' minds who were sent out to do the deed, but her dulling of his powers proved to prevent his availability to do that. Despite Tamlin's tisking and eye-rolling, Callias watches Rhys as Rhys holds his stare, and he assesses how he feels about all of it. Callias then turns to Tamlin and asks him, "Why are you here again?" Tamlin tells them he's there to help fight against Hybern, and it doesn't really seem like anyone's buying it. But Tamlin insists, and he reminds them that he has detailed plans on Hybern's movements. He then turns his attention back to Feyre and says, "I once told you that I would fight against tyranny, against that sort of evil. Do you think that you were enough to turn me from that?"
Yeah, dude. Yeah, look at what you're already doing. I do think that. You destroyed your own castle.
Yeah, he's making a lot of bad choices, so yeah, I do think that he could potentially just turn. He then pats himself on the back for helping her and her family and continues, "Yet you witnessed all that he did under the mountain and still spread your legs for him. Fitting, I suppose. He whored for Amarantha for decades. Why shouldn't you be his whore in return?"
Let me at him. Natalie, stop holding me back.
Hold me back!
Oh, we have to hold each other back.
I don't know what that was.
I'm sorry for what that was. Because then we realized, oh, we don't touch each other. Hands.
Hell no, sir. You cannot say that shit. Every time I start feeling sympathy for him, he does something like this. Ugh. He continues to throw out insults until Helion dismisses him, telling him to take his lover's spat elsewhere.
Thank you.
Because also he's acting like a child.
Yes.
In this.
And also, this is not the time for it. We've got like much bigger things to discuss, okay?
Yeah, there's a war, and you're being all goofy talking about your ex-lover's sex life, you weirdo.
Also, I do wonder what sound she makes before she climaxes. Do you think it's more of like a yeah. She's like, oh, I guess she's close. Please God, I hope that means she's close.
It's very ear-piercing. Even as it becomes more tense, Tamlin
What if it's a donkey noise? Yeah, yeah.
That's not. I wouldn't call that a little sound because he said it's a little.
Oh
sound.
yeah, you're right.
It could
so
be
it'd be
tiny,
more of like a tiny. That's one tiny donkey you've got there.
Tiny little donkey. Even as it becomes more tense, Tamlin again swears loyalty to Prythian. Helion challenges him to prove it, and Tamlin summons a stack of papers from the ether somewhere. Charts of armies, ammunition, caches of Febane, everything carefully gleaned these months. He stares at Feyre while he says it, as though she should be on the floor begging for his forgiveness. As he continues to try to poison the group on the night court, Dazon points out that if he's trying to win against Hybern, he's certainly not creating a unified front at the moment. And then Tamlin launches into a bunch of wild accusations about the night court, questioning why they barely received damage when Hybern attacked Valaris. Maybe that was just to convince the others that Hybern was against them. Maybe because Rizan wouldn't care if a few of his people were killed. And then how is it that only the Night Court knew that Hybern attacked Adriata? Isn't that convenient, huh? And then we hear they received word.
Varian cut in coolly.
Because I warned them of it.
Thank you for stepping up. He's the man who stepped up.
He's the man who stepped up. He may not be the father, but
You're not,
the man.
Yeah, you're not just a stepfather. You're the man who
stepped up. Yep. He's somebody's stepfather.
I think about that line, I think 7 times a day. I don't know why. He's the man who stepped up.
Interesting.
I don't even have a stepfather.
You don't?
I don't know why I think about it all the time.
It's fetish?
You know why? It's a nice play on words.
It is.
No, I'm a fetish
dances
for
on
the
the tongue.
English language. Oh, don't you know?
Elegance is earned
Elegance is earned.
And this is a surprising bit of news to everyone in the room, mostly, a lot of the people in the room, including Varian's cousin Tarquin. Tarquin's like, you warned them? Okay. But this one's...
Like, Tarquin, open up your eyes. Do you not realize the thing, but what's going on between Varian and Amryn? That's another one of these things where I'm like, nobody sees what's happening here.
I guess he needs to have some family time together that's not about fighting wars.
Yeah.
I think they're having to have a conversation after
Well,
this.
they're in the middle of a lot. They just got attacked. They got to rebuild. They got a lot going on.
Love still exists.
You're right. Even through war.
Even through war. So But this won't stop Tamlin's crybaby rants. He just then accuses Tarquin of being in on it. And Dr. Fauci, he always knew this was happening too.
He made the COVID.
Where was he on the night of the Hybern attack in the summer court? Nobody knows where Fauci was. He's never been accounted for.
No, he was in his laboratories.
Feyre tells Tamlin that he's insane. He then tries to blame Ianthe on Rhysand somehow. It was just such a weird thing to be like, how is it Rhysand's fault Ianthe was crazy? I don't know. Nesta speaks up and tells him to blame himself for all of this mess. Speaking to Tamlin.
Thank you, Nesta, which is a surprise.
Yeah, no, this was like a whole. Everyone was like, "Oh, this one, this hottie back here." Tamlin growls at her, and you just know Cassian's not going to stand for that.
No, he's not.
Watch it, Cassian says.
Tamlin looked between my sister and Cassian, his gaze lingering on Cassian's wings, tucked in behind him. Snorted.
Seems like other preferences run in the Archeron family, too. What a petty little male.
He's just such a wino. And I'm not talking about
the wine?
The wine glasses that Natalie breaks every time she goes in public.
I'm that kind of wino.
Kathy, give me some chocolate.
Oh, God, I am Kathy. I like all the same things.
Oh, my God, you do. And you need your coffee, too. Oh, no, you're such a Kathy. At least you're not from Family Circle.
Ugh.
Billy runs around the playground. I fucking hate Family Circus.
Who likes Family Circus?
I just remember when we were little, we had a book of Family Circus cartoon. It just filled me with rage.
Don't pander to me, Family Circus.
No. He forgot his umbrella. Guess I'm all wet, Mom. It's that's not a joke, Billy.
Also, the world's dark, okay? It's not all cute. Give me some edge. More like, give me some Family Square.
Yeah.
Let's see.
Is that the porn version of Family Circle?
Yeah, I think so. When Feyre asks him if he wanted her to play pretend with him, so when she's like, "Oh, you just wanted me to stay in the spring court and be your little fucking princess?"
Yeah.
He spits out, "Why should I want spoiled goods returned to me?" Oh, fuck you.
Ugh, just take it elsewhere. We have so many bigger things to discuss right now.
So much misogyny, so much fucking garbage. Oh, just awful, toxic. All the buzzwords, all of them. He starts in on talking about the moment you let him fuck you. He starts saying this horrible thing, and then no more words are audible, even though he's shouting, because Rhysand has taken away his voice, which is the most baller move. He didn't start doing a fist fight. He just went, zip it. Quiet now, little boy.
I wish he could turn him into shadow dust, but we know that that's not going to help anything.
It won't. It really won't.
Because Rhys is a real man.
Yeah,
and he knows that fisticuffs don't bring nothing good.
No, dusticuffs. That's when you dust him.
Yeah, that's when you dust him. Oh, yeah. And then what if he started... Actually, that would be pretty lame if he turned someone into dust and went, dusticuffs! Like he was a magician. I think it was really hot, but I think a lot of other people would be like, don't say dusticuffs when you turn them into dust.
Yeah, and then just brought a vacuum out.
I cleaned it out.
No, he doesn't, because he's a better man than that.
Yes.
No.
He does in shadows, he falls below. She found him, man.
This is the opposite of sexy, and I'm very angry with you right now. I hate that voice. I hate that era of music is the worst.
I could feel your rage. You just nested at me real hard. I could feel your fire.
Oh, my cold. Oh, wait, we haven't gone there yet. Never mind.
Yeah. Whoa.
Never mind. Nothing. So
we've done a really good job of trying to. Yes, I'm patting ourselves on the back. Elegance is earned. Don't forget it. You have done a very good job of not spoiling anything as we go along.
Oh, thank you. That's so nice. I have gotten many comments saying, quit talking about Crescent City. Not all of us have read Crescent City, and I am sorry. But I haven't given any spoilers about it.
No spoilers. We haven't spoiled at all. We have encouraged you to read it, though.
strongly encouraged you.
Strongly encouraged.
Was that a threat? I don't know.
Whoa, it's a promise.
It's a promise. Rhysand is obviously furious to have Tamlin say such things about Feyre, but he knows the cost of losing his temper in front of these high lords. So he takes a different route. He shuts Tamlin the hell up while also demonstrating how much he chooses to hold himself back. Because all high lords were powerful all equally, really.
Except for the one at my side. Rhys was as different from them as humans were to Fae. They forgot it sometimes. How deep that well of power went, what manner of power Rhys bore. Oof. Even just, I know that those aren't horny lines in this, but that's so horny to me.
I think
that's
they are.
just so like, ooh. Yeah, but ain't nobody as, ooh. I feel that
Also,
about my man. I look at my man, I'm like, ain't nobody like my man.
I love that. Just how powerful he is, but chooses to restrain himself with it is very sexy.
Until he goes, dusticuffs.
Dusticuffs!
I would become so dry. It would be so
Yeah.
funny. I'd be like, never mind.
Yeah. No, that's not good. And so he does this little sprinkling of, yes, I can do this, but I choose not
voice
to.
away.
And the rest of the group is reeling and processing that, oh yeah, this guy could turn us into pink snow, blood at any time. Tamlin tells him that he has no desire to do that, though, that he wants to work together. It's Tarquin who speaks first. He acknowledges that they came to his city when no one else did to defend it, to help him. He wants to know why.
Rhys's voice was a bit hoarse as he asked,
Isn't that what friends do?
"Oh, that's sweet.
The friends.
But like, do we call each other friends yet? But okay, all right. Well, that's like someone saying, like, if someone calls you their best friend, and you're like, are we best friends? Yeah, we're best friends. Ooh,
Yeah.
I don't know if I see you as a best friend.
Well, this is because Rhysand allows himself to be vulnerable, and that's masculine, isn't it?
I love him.
Isn't it? It seems to have worked on Tarquin because the next thing he says is that he rescinds the blood rubies.
Damn.
No more blood rubies. Woohoo!
That's great.
Cassian mutters that he's going to have a hard time getting Amren's back, and Feyre thinks she sees Varian have a little smile. And then, proving that he's the bigger High Lord, Rhys turns to Tamlin, who's still voiceless, and tells him that he believes him, that he's here in support of Prythian.
And that's quite a, like, what is it, feather? Peace pipe. What do you give? Laurel. What do you give to someone? Out of peace?
Peace offering?
Yeah?
I don't know where
Feathers.
Feathers.
He gives him peace
He gives him
feathers. And
peace
isn't
feathers.
that nice?
It is really nice.
After everything he's saying about his high lady, he gives him peace feathers.
And that's not because Rhys is a pushover. It's because he is the better male. He's the better fae.
Yeah.
And he knows that
You want me to sing the song again?
No. He knows that he got the girl at the end, didn't he?
Yeah, he did.
Baron speaks up and asks where his missing son is, as if he gives a shit, referring to Lucian. All Feyre says is that he's helping to guard Valaris. And then, just in case you all thought Eris was just helping and being a nice guy, he makes an admission in front of the whole group. Pity you didn't bring the other sister. I hear our little brother's mate is quite the beauty. This isn't the news Feyre wants to hear, that they all know of Lucian's matehood with Elaine. Because until that point, not everybody in the room knew.
Yeah, and it's like she already has one sister in the hot seat. She doesn't need another sister in the hot seat.
Yeah, and they also have to constantly infantilize Elaine, and so she's like, another baby to take care of.
Yep.
So Moore speaks out, helping the ruse that she hasn't seen Eris in centuries, because of course they had this secret agreement with him, commenting on how much he still likes to hear himself talk.
Eris's mouth curled into a smile at the words. The careful game of pretending that they had not seen each other in years.
Good to know that after 500 years, you still dress like a slut. What is going on?
Is it just that, like, they literally can't, like, haven't women always, I'm sorry, fae women? Not women.
Fae females.
Females.
Yeah.
That haven't Fae females been in the war room before? They're acting as if this has never happened before and that they just literally can't handle it and they have to say the worst thing that comes to their brain, which you don't, by the way. You actually have complete control over what comes out of your mouth. Thank you very much. But also, one moment, Azriel was seated.
And the next, he was pouncing on Eris. I mean, okay. Azriel, this is
He shouldn't have done it.
It's embarrassing mostly because it's not even, she doesn't even like want to kiss him.
Yeah, but he still feels so protective over her.
I know.
And even if it was like a brother love, like, I mean, I've definitely been protected by like the brothers of this network many times when I used to run my mouth afoul when I was younger, and how many times they would step in and be like, okay, now we have to like actually literally physically protect you.
I remember how many times you would go up and be like, they're gonna fight you, you fucking asshole, and then like make them fight a stranger just to show them that you could.
I mean, there had been many a year when they had to ask me, can you please stop inciting incidents so that we have to jump in and help you? And I'm just like, oh yeah, I'm big and bad, because I thought that's what being big and bad was putting down other people verbally in bars, which is because like if I saw someone like treating a woman not nice, of course I'd be the one that would step in. And you don't, people can fight their own fights.
It's true, but if you see somebody like doing a violence.
No, not a violence, but like just like hearing someone speak to someone wrong, and I'm like, do you want to say that again? Like I'd say things like that.
Yeah.
Which, girl, you gotta calm down.
You did. You
need to calm down.
You don't do that now.
But I know that's what anger management teaches you.
Yeah.
There's a right place and a wrong place.
And this is not the right place, Azriel, to be honest. Moore doesn't even want him to be doing this. So Rhys managed to keep his composure with his mate, who he's had sex with before, unlike Azriel and Moore, while she was being insulted because he knew of the importance of this meeting. But so it's a little cringe that Azriel does this.
He shouldn't have done it, but it still did make me like, oh, I love him.
Of course. Anyway, Az attacks Eris and also shields himself from anyone stopping him. So both Rhys and Baron try to pull Azriel off of Eris, but they can't get past his jizzy shadows that are just like always around him.
Yeah, he's like sexy pigpen.
Yeah, sexy pigpen. He is. Regardless, Rhys is secretly amused and demurs to Feyre to make the final call. Feyre looks at Rhys and then makes her way over to where Azriel is towering over Eris.
Felt all of them tense, Tamlin's gaze like a brand as I walked toward the Shadow Singer, my sparkling gown hissing along the floor behind me. As I put a tattooed hand on the hard, near-invisible curve of the shield and said, "Come, Azriel." He turns to Feyre as though he's almost in a trance, and I gotta say he's acting an awful lot like Tamlin in this moment. He shouldn't do these things. I also do wonder if he attacks Eris because Eris isn't a High Lord, and he knew that he could like get away with it. Because like he couldn't have attacked Tamlin because then the whole meeting would have been over.
Right.
But like attacking the son of a High Lord is, I feel like at least he knew that much that he couldn't attack another High Lord.
For sure. I do think like, it's notable that Moore's shaking. Like, she didn't want that to happen.
No.
That's, I don't know. That's not love to me, but I know he was trying to do something in for her. But as Feyre holds out her hand and gently tells Az to come sit by her, he says, "Yes, Mommy." But before he gets up, he whispers something in Eris's ear that scares him. Maybe something like, "Fall's the dumbest season of all of them."
Oh my God, that would get him so upset. He'd be like, "Don't talk about that season like that when I have fire."
Autumn's got the crunchiest leaves and I hate
it. I hate scarves. And I hate nice temperate conditions.
Eris is like, "Oh man,
that's my favorite.
It's my favorite season." Right as Az drops his shadow shield, Baron tries to hurl some fire at him. And Feyre...
Fireball.
Baron tries to hurl some fire at her and at he and Feyre, but Feyre's already shielded. So Baron's like, "I'm gonna get you," and then Feyre's like, "No, you're not." Further cementing herself as a boss bitch in this room.
Yes.
Even through all of the insults with Tamlin, she is still cool as a cucumber. More than anything, the Lord seems surprised at the close-knit way Feyre responds to Azriel. They are my family, Feyre clarifies. She offers a warning to Eris that she won't stop him next time, and Eris quietly says, apologies, Morrigan. She, of course, has their deal to hold over him. Otherwise, he likely wouldn't have bowed to them, but he has to. Baron hates it, but Feyre thinks that she sees something like pride on Eris's mother's face.
Oh, is that me?
Oh, it's
Beautiful
you.
Eris's mother?
Show your pride.
My pride? Ooh.
Is that pride?
That's my pride face. I don't feel pride for much, so that's why you don't see it very often. But that is my pride face.
All right, I'll know now for the future.
Oh.
Thezon is concerned this isn't going well, but Helion smiles and says that Thezon owes him 10 gold marks, which means they were all gambling like the Night Court was.
I love it. They're all gambling over who's going to get into a fight first.
I also think this is a device to show us that Helion is a bit playful because so far they've presented him as kind of a cold character.
Yes.
Now that all of this excitement is out of the way, they turn their attention back to the papers that Tamlin has brought. So Helion uses his magic to make Fae photocopies of everything and distributes them around, which is like a pretty good magic skill to have.
Oh, God, I want it so bad.
Yeah. You'd be the best. You'd be the belle of the office.
I mean, I'm telling you, I can't have a printer in my home because printers don't like Zabrowskis. I'm sorry for what you've married into, but printers don't appreciate the cut of our jib. And I'm sad for printers because Zabrowskis are great.
I feel sorry for them.
Yeah, and I have to go to the store to get things printed out.
I know your mom often needs help with her printer.
See, she's got bad printer problems too.
Pretty much every time we go there, she's like, my
printer's
broken."
not working.
So you're right. Helion
99 problems, and a printer is one.
Oh, Helion ignores them and rifles through the records. After he distributes them, all of the lords just kind of stare and don't do anything with the papers. They're all just like, I don't know what to do here. And Helion just ignores them. And he starts rifling through all the records. He rightly points out that they probably need to work on destroying the Faebane stores first and foremost.
Yes.
Thezon has a bit of news to share with the room at that. He says he wanted to introduce a tinkerer of his.
Oh.
She tinkers and tankers and fiddles and diddles. And she is described as beautiful with long silken black hair, onyx eyes, and lightly tanned skin. Her name is Nuan, and Feyre considers whether Amren has modeled her features from the area of the world where this female originated. And as Feyre notices Lucian's regarding of her, she correctly guesses that this is the Fae who helped construct his golden eye.
How would she guess that? That would be like the last thing I guessed. That's such a smart thing. I'd be like, oh, he must know her. Oh, I wonder if they fucked in the past. Like if I noticed him noticing her in some capacity, not be like, that must have been the witch that made his eye.
That's why she's High Lady, I guess.
Yeah, man. She's
We're
good
not.
at it.
We're not. I don't know who I'm dressed as today. I think this is sort of a summer court look.
But is that your Nesta wig,
my
though?
fashion.
Because you're giving Nesta. I'm feeling Nesta from you.
For whatever reason, I've made Feyre's hair this is Feyre's technically, but I'm not really Feyre. But I have Nesta like one microscopic shade darker for some reason.
Okay.
I don't know why.
Well, you have to differentiate. You can't have the same wig for the different sisters.
That would be crazy.
It's horrible.
Absolutely insane. Thezon introduces her to the group, and she says she's a skilled craft person of his court.
And I make many dolls. And she just has...
She tankers. She
Yes.
tinkers and tankers. Look at my dolls!
And then she has to introduce every single one of her
Yeah,
dolls
it's-
before she gets to, like we're in the middle of a war room.
But she's the best, so you have to wait it out.
And they're all like
Need all of her-
walking and going, hello, Daddy, my diaper needs changing.
Ew,
They're like little
gross.
robot
Gross.
dolls in my head.
All just like walking around.
Full
room.
diapers, yeah.
According to her and Thezon, she figured out an antidote for the dangerous Faebane stones.
Great.
Because only she does Tinker and Tailor Soldier Spy. She's also
Digger Soldier
because not only does she Tinker Tailor Soldier Spy, she's also an alchemist. And she is
Sick.
Yeah, she also has what appears to be a hand fully made of enchanted metal herself. She tells the gathered party that she attained samples of it from after the attack on Valaris. The inner circle are kind of shocked by this and confused, and Cassian demands to know how she attained them. She quickly explains that she deduced Lucian was staying with the Night Court and asked him to bring some to her. He apparently did without alerting the others.
She'll probably tell other people, but also, again, you don't think that they had one night while she was making that eye. And she's like, let me just pop it in. And she, like, straddles him, and she, like, slowly puts his eye in. And then she pops it back out, and then she pops it back in. She goes like, oh, my God, I'm making you more magical as you get harder. And then all of a sudden she gets down on her knees and sucks him off.
I do think that happened.
I can write this. I can write this book.
Do you think she has to be careful with the steel hand though?
Dude, or how awesome is the steel hand?
But what if you
like,
won
magic
too
hand?
tight of a grip?
That maybe use the other hand just
Squeeze
in case.
squeeze it out like a hot dog.
Oh my God, and just like she squeezes it so hard that the tip of his penis pops off. That would be really upsetting. So now he's got a magic eye and not a full magic dick, but just the tip.
She had to create a steel tip for him.
Yes,
Oh,
dude, that's
no.
awesome.
What if he can see out of it?
Oh my God, that's awesome. A blessing in disguise.
But in reality, I think Lucian was trying to do a good thing. He wasn't doing it
Yes.
to
Well, because she's like trying to cure Faebane. Like she's trying to stop the powers of Faebane. So this is a big thing.
yeah. Faber recalls a day that he seemed very enthusiastic to go out and visit Valaris on his own and realizes that's when he probably got it. Nuan explains that he didn't want anyone to get their hopes up if she was unable to find the cure.
That makes complete sense.
Yeah.
Gray. Again, these are things like
so
it's like I'm glad that they heard the other side of it of like, yeah, he didn't want to get anybody's hopes up. That makes sense. Thank you for sharing that nuance. See, communication is everything.
Communication. Tezon goes on to explain that she had in fact succeeded in creating a powder that once ingested provides protection from the Faebane if it is slipped into food or drink. However, when Tarquin asks what happens if they are pierced with Faebane, Nuan says that only their wits will protect them then. Though maybe it could help. She's not actually sure. Veron, in being in character, immediately complains that he's simply supposed to take a random powder from the Dawn Court.
Okay, then don't take it. Like, what do you want from us?
He's such a complainer.
I know, dude.
Because he's thinking that's how he would act. That's when, people who are bad.
Yeah, 'cause
when
you're
they
bad.
see bad things on other people, it's like, oh, because that's how you think.
Yeah, because you're bad.
Yeah. That Thazon's obviously insulted, and Baron, using thinly veiled xenophobia, demands to know where Nuan is from.
Great. That's what we needed added into this war room.
I know. I am the daughter of two high fae from Xi'an, who moved here to give their children a better life, if that is what you are demanding to know.
Nuan answered tightly. Helion demanded of Baron.
What does this have to do with anything?
Baron shrugged.
If her family is from Xi'an, which I'll have you remember fought for the Loyalists, then whose interests does she serve?
Oh my God, generations
Shut up.
ago. Get over it, bro.
He's just doing it to be a jerk.
Also, like, with all of the things you've done, the fact that they are also, like, accepting you as part of them, get over yourself, bro.
He's never gonna.
No.
Thezon is offended, of course, but Nuan cuts in, saying that she was born in Prythian just as his sons were. Baron calls her girl and tells her to watch her tone, and Feyre steps in and says she will take the antidote. Eris tries to interject with his father, tries to step in and argue with his father, suggesting that the effects of Faebane are great and that he should consider it. But now that Baron's been insulted, he's too stubborn to accept, and he forbids anyone in his family from taking it.
Like, what did I do to deserve this? Look at how beautiful I am.
He's very mean to her.
Give me the antidote, please.
Maybe she should have asked him. She doesn't because
Can't let
she's
these
been
fair
conditioned.
breasts die.
I know, it's true. And then Eris, ignoring his father and surprising most everyone in the room, says, I will take it. Feyre watches him and wonders to herself if perhaps there is a good male in there somewhere. That underneath all of the sludge his father put on top of him, he might be a good person, or good fae. Rhys steps in and says, fine, Baron, don't take it, but Night Court will. And then Tamlin just has to make it about himself and throws out the wild accusation, at least they have an army to give it to.
Well, you should have been better to your people. He claims this as if Feyre did it, as if he wasn't a bad High Lord to his people. When you're like, when you're publicly, like, whipping them when obviously it wasn't someone's fault just to, like, make a point out of it. Like, you're being a bad High Lord. They turned against you because you're bad at your job, bro. Sorry, I'm going off on Tamlin right now.
Yeah, I wish Tamlin was here, but he is not real.
Go off.
As I would yell at him too. And then he accuses Feyre of taking away the armies just because she wanted his people to suffer, which is clearly untrue. That when she turned his sentries against him, she must have known.
I said nothing, even as I blocked the images from my mind.
You primed my court to fall,
Tamlin said with venomous quiet.
And it did. Those villages you wanted so badly to help rebuild, they're nothing more than cinders now.
I shut out that too. He'd said they'd remained untouched, that Hybern had promised.
But that's the rub, isn't it?
Isn't
that Tamlin said about all these chains of events because he let Hybern into the Spring Court. He caused this downfall, but he will not admit it even to himself, it seems. Helion, being more help than Tamlin, says that his other thought from reading through the paperwork is that all of the citizens of the Spring Court must be evacuated immediately.
His amber eyes darted between Tarquin and Baron.
Surely your northern neighbors will welcome them. But come on, you know Baron ain't welcoming shit into his precious autumn court.
Not.
He says as much, and Vivian makes a comment about how they're all too busy polishing their jewels in his court.
I do wonder if any part of Tamlin was like, I'm on Hybern's side, or do you think that he was always like, I'm doing this to help everybody else? Like, do you think that, like, do you wonder if he was on the fence until Hybern came in and, like, actually destroyed the Spring Court, even though he promised he wasn't going to?
I think actually, no. I think he was always probably, because that is, like, his sort of the save the cat, is that he is actually trying to save his people and save Prythian.
Right.
Even though he has his personal issues are the big problem. He does care for his people and for the Fae of Prythian. So I don't think he ever really was going to side with them.
Yeah.
That's what I think.
Yeah.
So Baron tries to get Callias to shut his woman up, and she says,
Whoa.
Fuck you.
Fuck you!
I'll be out there dying the same as the males if this war comes.
Hell yeah!
Baron, of course, can't help but make a vague threat of the potential SA that she will face from Hybern.
Callias's snarl rippled the water in the reflection pool, echoed by Moore's own growl.
Yeah, because that's a horrible thing to say.
Yeah, that's a ridiculous thing to say. Come on.
Baron,
just wanting to bring it back to fighting levels. Like, can we just get through one conversation?
Without, like, trying to intimidate the women sexually. Baron launches into how only he, Rhys, and Helion were present for the last war, and they know too well what happened to the females in a skirmish. That his own wife, who he uses as an example in this moment, though never shows her any love or respect at any other time,
none.
That she lost her sisters to violence as they took the brunt of the assault so that she herself could get away.
Helion was watching Baron closely, his stare simmering with reproach. The lady of the Autumn Court kept her focus on the reflection pool.
Then Tarquin speaks up. He will take the Spring Court citizens.
I love Tarquin. Can we just...
He's great.
Can we get him kisses? He needs some kisses.
Oh, he's going to get kisses at some point.
You think so? I think he deserves it. So, like, it's like, I understand the blood rubies, but the fact that he took them away as a show of, like, solidarity, of, like, no, we're working together. We're on the same side. I'm going to forego the blood rubies. Tarquin, I'll kiss you. Lady in the Autumn Court will kiss you.
No, Lady in the Autumn Court is with somebody else.
Kissing somebody else.
Kissing somebody. Wow. So he says, yes, he'll take the citizens. Rhys explains that Hybern will likely enter through the lower courts in order to access the human lands. And Thezon asks if the humans will bow to them. And Nesta, at that point, again speaks. It's Queen sold us out,
Nesta said. She lifted her chin, poised as any emissary.
For the gift of immortality, the human queens will allow Hybern in to sweep away the resistance. They might very well hand over control of their armies to him. So Nesta asks what will become of the humans on Prythian.
Because she is the human emissary, so thank you for asking.
Thank you for emissarying. Baron jumps in to make sure everyone knows he will not be helping the humans who he refers to as chattel.
Oh, I'm so surprised. Thank you so much
Shocking.
for adding your 2 cents, Baron. We needed to know that you hate humans.
Nobody was like believing it was gonna,
Duh.
help. So Feyre bristles, but he immediately deflects and brings up Claire Better again as if he gave a shit. Like he cares about Claire Better. Reese soothes her through the bond, calming her from making a mistake in anger. He steps in.
Reese lifted a brow.
Your staggering generosity aside, will you be joining our forces? Well, Baron just hasn't decided yet, okay? Cassian tells him he needs to decide now, that armies take time to put together, but he says, I don't take orders from the bastards of lesser Fey whores. Nesta...
Put him in the ground, babe.
Oof, Nesta stands up.
Yes, Nesta stands up!
She says, that bastard may be the only one standing in front of him, and when the armies show up, you fucking idiot.
She didn't so much as look at Cassian as she said it, but he stared at her as if he'd never seen her before.
Oh my God. She defended him.
Oh my God, she went to his defense. Where's the soup? Where the soup at?
They ain't at soup level yet.
I know they ain't at soup level, but
They're
I'm
definitely at boner level.
Can't a girl dream of soup?
I think the boy's dreaming of soup.
Yeah, he is. He's staring at her and dreaming of soup.
He is.
Oh, and Jeff still continues to not like soup, so I can't even make him any soup.
Oh no, he wouldn't even take. He'd have to eat it. He'd have to force himself.
I know. I made him a stoop instead, and he said, a stoop isn't a soup, and he threw it on the floor. That's not what happened, and I didn't make him a stoop either.
I know how he's always screaming at you about making him different food.
Yeah, man, Jeff, yeah, he's a screamer.
He really is. Oh, it's so mean. So mean. But Feyre has had enough with this. She tells him to get out if he's not going to be of use. Baron insults Rizan again, suggesting that he was banging Amarantha by choice and was enjoying himself, while Baron's people were suffering. The inner circle's pissed, but Tarquin steps in. That's enough, Baron. So, which is good news, because that means Tarquin's defending Rhys again.
Yes.
But Baron can't quit needling into Rizan. He mocks him, calls him Amarantha's whore. Again.
You just get new insults.
I know.
You know, at this point, it's you're just saying the same thing over. It's we get it. We know how you feel. Get more creative.
Yeah, for sure. But he's not. He's not creative. That's the whole problem. And he asks
Maybe he needs to take up knitting.
Baron?
Yes. Get some needles in your hand, bitch. Make something. Make some art.
I don't know if he should have anything sharp.
Yeah, I guess that's true.
Finger painting.
Oh, that would be cute.
Feyre can teach him.
Oh, and they're just putting wings all over it. And then the lady, the Autumn Court, comes home and I'm like, Baron, what are you doing in here? And it's just paints everywhere.
And then he banishes her to a prison cell for
Yeah.
It's
and
not
then I
cute.
suffer.
I mean you, yes.
Me, thank you.
Yeah. He asks if Rhys is going to get on his knees for Highburn.
I stopped hearing the words. Stopped hearing anything other than my heart, my breathing. Fire exploded out of me. Raging white-hot flame that blasted into Baron like a lance.
Can't talk about her, man, okay?
She couldn't control herself, but again, she needs to learn how to control these things.
It's true.
She's got to learn.
Well, oopsie. Feyre was supposed to be hiding her court's powers.
Yeah, dude.
But I guess no one can control themselves today.
No, it's very heated in there.
Well, Baron shields himself, and himself only.
Of course. Of course he only shields himself. Doesn't even shield his wife.
No. He's fucking bastard.
Or his children.
I mean, she doesn't give a shit about the sons.
No,
They're
we don't
only
even
here-
know most of their names.
I think we don't learn 2 or 3 of their names at all. They're just redhead guy.
And we're bad. And we go with our dad. Yeah.
Oh, mean. So when that happens, Feyre's fire ends up hitting Eris and then Eris's mother, unfortunately.
Me, beautiful me.
Ow, ow, ow. It hits her arm, I think.
Yes.
Which wasn't the plan, but fire's got a mind of its own sometimes. Rhys tries to pull Feyre back, but it's too late. The images course through her mind of Rhys being assaulted, and she can't control herself. Since the masks are now fully off, she takes water from the pool and creates a bubble of it, or I guess a reverse bubble, because it's just water on the inside. It's like a reverse bubble.
Yeah.
and she sucks Baron into it, and then he begins to drown. Baron's flames,
which is just awesome. That's so fun.
Yeah, it's creative.
Again, it's because she paints.
Because she paints.
So she knows that, like, this is how you bully somebody. Put them in a bubble of water.
Yeah, conceptualize. Baron's flames begin to turn the water into steam, so she sends white light shooting out that's of Daycourt and sends it into the fire. Reese steps in front of her before she can escalate and makes her lock eyes with him, soothes her. Slowly and gently. No. This is not a sex. This is not sex.
Oh, I was trying to make eye contact with you.
Oh, no. No, especially because you said that's the sound she makes when she orgasms.
Well, it's tinier than that.
Oh, this is a different donkey
this is
sound.
louder. Yeah.
This is a relaxing one. Okay. And then he puts them inside of a shield as all the other High Lords realize what Feyre is capable of, because they've all just been like, oh, she took my power?
Yeah, dude. Well, technically, you gave
It's
her
true.
power.
Because of, what they handed her over.
Yeah, man.
Baron, released from his watery bubble grave, is livid. Tarquin muses that he now realizes how she got through his wards to get the book, the beautiful singing book.
But Helion rubbed his jaw as he sat down once more.
I wondered where it went, that little bit. So small, like a fish missing a single scale. But I still felt whenever something brushed against that empty spot.
A smirk at Reese.
No wonder you made her High Lady. Reese says he made her High Lady simply because he loves her.
Aww.
Helion realizes that Tamlin must have known about the powers, and we're, as the reader, remembering how he tried to push it away and push it away and push it down. Baron, unsurprisingly, is not happy about his power being taken from him.
Bro, you did this. Like, it wasn't taken from you. You literally gave it to her.
As Feyre apologizes to the Lady of Autumn for singeing her on accident, Baron calls Feyre human filth. And do you think Rizan's just going to stand there and take that?
I don't think so.
No. But he handles it in a way that is far more controlled than Tamlin could have ever. He again shows his unlimited power by misting Baron's chair beneath him, not causing bodily harm, but emotionally humiliating him.
Oh my God, have you ever, I don't know if you've ever dealt with, I've sat on a chair and it's broken before, and tell you about wanting to die of shame of the chair, of a fat girl sitting in a chair and the chair breaks. Oh my God, you want to like go into a hole forever.
I think that just happens to most people. I think that just like sometimes chairs are like on their last leg.
Yeah, and then and I think that no matter who it happens to, no matter like what you think about yourself, there's always like a shame that comes from it.
Oh, yeah.
Of like, I did this.
Well, also, you just look like kind of silly, you know?
And then
that happened
flopping
actually
around like a fish.
in Kissel's backyard. He left his outdoor chairs in the sun all the time, and so I sat in it. It was like a cloth chair.
Oh, no, did you go through
I
it?
went straight through it.
Oh, no. And then you're like, ugh, and your knees are up to your chin, and you're like, help me.
Thankfully, it was
that's fun.
It was just all of our friends, so it didn't really matter. But this is something Baron hates because he doesn't like to be embarrassed. And so when the chair disappears from him and he falls to the floor, he is like, go, no.
He's embarrassed.
And he's embarrassed. Yes. And he also, because Rizan screamed, Dusticuffs.
Dusticuffs. I can't start merging Chris Angel and Reese in my brain.
You know, we just saw Chris Angel.
I'm so envious that you guys went to go see Chris Angel.
I gotta tell you, I was not expecting to cry at a Chris Angel magic show. Yeah.
Why did you cry?
He's good.
Wait, did you cry because the magic was so good?
He did a whole bit about a bunch of kids who died from cancer. He was doing Make-A-Wish stuff for them. He did a whole segment dedicated to them.
Oh my God. The Winter Court.
It was.
Maybe he is like Reese. Oh no.
He did. I will say, for being almost 60, he looked good.
I think he's always looked fine. I used to have a Chris Angel shirt. I had a Mind Freak shirt, and it was my favorite shirt, and I wore it all the time. I love Chris Angel.
Man, I wish we could actually take a sidebar and talk about that entire experience, because it was crazy.
I mean, I gotta
know more. And a lot of
more.
weird stuff happened in the audience, too. We can't talk about that right now.
No, what? No.
We'll have to have it. We'll just have to have a not microphone conversation
Wait a second.
about.
A real conversation?
Yeah. Sometimes we have to every once in a while not make it content, I think.
Okay.
But I mean, it's
all
hard.
right.
I mean,
Want to try that on for size?
I guess we'll give it a shot. I don't know.
I'll be your friend.
Oh my god, we're like Tarquin and Rizan.
I do. Okay. Wait, are you taking the blood rubies away, or am I?
Which one do you want to be?
I'll be Tarquin.
All right, we take him away.
Yeah. Take away.
Yes.
You're free.
Yes.
You're welcome.
In exchange for telling you the tale of Chris Angel.
The tale of Chris Angel. We all gather round the fire.
So, his embarrassment leads him to be very angry. And Reese, again, he instructs him to never speak to his mate like that. And in his embarrassment, Baron tells the others he's leaving and that he hopes Hybern, quote, butchers them all.
This is really helping, Baron. Thank you so much for your addition to this meeting.
Whiny little asshole. But then Nesta speaks again. As she rises from her chair, even Baron pauses, perhaps simply taken aback by the audacity. She looks him in the eye and asks him why he refuses to fight against Hybern when he did so the last time. Nesta then realizes she's captured the attention of the entire room and begins to address Baron, but really all of them. She tells them that Hybern will kill all of their people, and she knows this because she entered the cauldron and gained some sort of witchy knowledge in there. Feyre can't tell if Nesta is bluffing about this or not. Nesta then turns to the Winter Court and acknowledges that the loss of their children is unspeakable, but she has watched countless children starve and die beneath the wall.
She jerked her chin at me.
Were it not for my sister, I would be among them.
Oh my God, is that a shred of acknowledgement?
She acknowledged Feyre.
Oh my God, and everything she did as her youngest sister to take care of her.
Wow, she's growing.
Oh.
She tells them the truth, that it wasn't just during Amarantha's reign that the humans suffered, that they were left with nothing for centuries after the wall went up, and that it was time for them to do something for the forgotten humans. Thazon, Neutral Boy, their host, who is sympathetic to a degree, points out that the treaty detailed that the humans were to be left alone, and so they obeyed. But Betha,
But they had no infrastructure.
They didn't. But Nesta doesn't want to look back down that long country road of the past.
Take her home, man.
She wants progress. I gotta stop feeding you song lines.
That's you're gonna start. I didn't sing it. It was just a light ref.
You did? No, you did. Perfect ref.
You're gonna have to start clearing. Like, is that a song lyric? Is that a song? Just like Google searching if it's a song lyric to something. But only things between 1995 and 2003. Other than that, have at.
All right, I'll just use 1920s.
We're just like flapper girls now.
I don't think either of us made the appropriate time references there. Flappers and that song. I don't know.
I guess it's more 30s.
I don't know.
Yeah, it was dusty. What we do know is that there was dust involved.
And everything was shades of gray.
Oh.
We gotta get through this. So she wants progress. She wants future. Nesta is here to not talk about all that. She wants to move forward. And she doesn't want any more children, Fae or human, to suffer. She goes on to say, "You have been entrusted with protecting this land."
She scanned the faces around her.
How can you not fight for it? Feyre is moved beyond words that her sister has stood up to these cocky high Faes.
Hell yeah.
Has at the very least prevented Baron from storming out. She notes Cassian just about to rip out of the seams of his pantaloons from boners.
From engorgement!
When Baron says that he will consider his position and he and his family disappear. Which, in dealing with Baron, is about as good as it gets.
Yes.
That he was like, maybe. Nesta sits back down and Callias wants to know if Feyre figured out his ice skills. She's like, why don't you ride up and see, bitch?
Ice! Ice! I'm the freezer now, bitch! And she just starts turning them all into ice blocks.
Yeah. And then she goes, yes, I figured out all your precious little skills, everyone. Except she says it more diplomatically.
No, she's a high lady, please.
She realizes in this moment that they not only know that she has their power, but that she has again deceived them in a way by not telling them. She's going to have to do some fast talking here. Interestingly, it's Tarquin who speaks first. He says, "You saved us under the mountain. Losing a kernel of power seems a worthy payment."
God, he's just great.
He is great. The others don't seem convinced, though. They're staring daggers as if they could try to suck the power back out of her. Even Thazon seems to want to greedily remove his power from her body, but admits that short of killing her, it's too late.
Even if they did kill her, would they be able to like excavate it from her body?
I don't know. It doesn't seem like it. Also, Reese is like not feeling the K word coming out of his mouth regarding Feyre, and he makes sure that they know it.
I stood, looking Thazon in the eye, then Helion, Tarquin, Callias, exactly as Nesta had done.
I did not take your power. You gave it to me, along with the gift of my immortal life. I am grateful for both, but they are mine now.
Damn.
And I will do with them what I will.
Yeah, snaps to you, bitch.
She's not wrong. That's what's up, Feyre. She knows she needs to prove herself in these moments. She stands on her own and tells them all that she will use these powers to take down Highburn. She will burn and freeze and drown. She will heal Prithian's downed people.
Yes!
That they need to get their priorities straight and quit worrying about some little flake of magic.
Yes!
She feels Reese's pride through the bond. The other lords watch her. Then Vivian of Wintercourt speaks. I will fight with you. Then Cressida of Summercourt. They stare at their cohorts and their males stand as well.
Yes!
Helion of Daycourt follows. Thazon stands. And then Tamlin stands up.
What?
Forgot he was there?
Yes!
Yeah, he's been sulking in the corner. But he stands up. 6 out of 7.
Reese chuckled down the bond.
Not bad, Cursebreaker. Not bad at all.
God, that would be awesome to be called in bed. Be called Cursebreaker. Her, not me, because I don't want to like pretend like I'm Feyre in the sack. But like, if Reese called Feyre Cursebreaker, that would be. I'd be like, ugh.
I'm gonna say he does sometimes.
Got
Probably.
to, right?
Yeah.
In the throes.
Whose
of
high
passion.
lady are you? My high lady.
My high lady. Although I don't even know if he would do that because he'd be like, "You're not mine. You're just the high lady."
Maybe. Well, they both say like you are mine and I am yours.
Yeah, and I love that about them.
Yeah, I do too. We have gabbed too much to finish this episode. We're gonna have to split it.
It's the wig. Can I blame the wig?
Sorry, guys. We go in on a little bit of a bunch of sidebars. I think we're gonna finish this part next week because I don't want this episode to be 3 hours long. So sorry. So just continue to read up until part 3. I know that was the prompt last week, but now you don't have to read all week, and that's hotter. According to that one guy.
Yeah, don't marry
read.
a woman that reads. Lord knows it'll be boring.
Or a man or any gender who listens to us. We love you all. Thank you so
and
much.
all readers are boring.
And it is all readers. Anyone who reads is boring.
no, it's not true. I love to read. Smut, that is.
Yes. So I'm sorry we talked too much this episode. We're going to try to keep it tight next week.
Yeah. I'll keep it tight.
Yeah. Yep. So we're going to go. Bye.
Bye.